I choose, as an empowered feminine woman, to make my wellness, my holistic well-being, and my relationship with my body the most important thing. And that's where I will start my day, because I know that that will benefit not only me, but all those I love, my family members, and also those I'm here to serve. I want to make sure that every single word that I shared comes from a place of feeling aligned. So trust your vibe and make it important. Welcome to The Rise Show, a podcast for highly driven and spiritual women with big ideas, dreams, and visions. Audacious women just like you, who are committed to their evolution and obsessed about all things personal growth, spirituality, manifestation, and feminine embodiment. I'm your host, Nathalie Banaszak, feminine success and branding coach, and I'm here to support you on your journey and path of expansion. I know you're ready for so much more. Permission granted to go for greatness, your wildest desires, and the most radiant and full expression of the brand called you. Are you ready? Let's begin. You might not know, but my background is in holistic nutrition and health promotion. So I have many years of personal and professional experience from the wellness industry. Health is wealth. And this is something that I deeply incorporate in all the work that I do with my one-to-one clients, in my teachings, in my online courses, whenever I host an event and so on. Specifically, we're speaking about women here, Health is wealth. And I'm curious, what does vitality mean to you? And how do you link it to your frequency? Because everything is energy, everything is vibration, and so are you. So for any high-achieving woman who are interested in feminine radiance and feeling like the most amazing version of you, we cannot not speak about health and wellness, because that's where everything starts, how you're feeling from the inside out and from the outside in. Because the truth is, none of us are performing at the level we're able to if we, for example, we don't get enough sleep, we're not nourishing our bodies with healthy, happy foods, or, we're not giving our body the loving attention that it deserves, and so on and so on. So let me introduce today's episode with a couple of questions for you to reflect on. What does holistic wellness mean to you? So obviously holistic, mind, body, spirit. I'm not just speaking about what did you have for lunch? No, we have a much wider perspective here. What does holistic wellness mean to you? What's your relationship with your beautiful body? So I work with women, and it saddens me to see and know that most women most often have some kind of important healing work they need to do with their bodies. And I know firsthand how this feels. And I also know firsthand that it's very, very, very healing to embark on the journey of healing our bodies. And it's completely transformational. So what's your relationship with your body? And what would it look like if you prioritized your well-being? If you would make it part of your business and success strategy, on the path towards your dreams? Far too often, I hear this a lot. I've struggled with it myself as well. Oh my God, that's a little bit selfish. No, I need to get this done first or whatever. What could be more important than taking care of our whole self to begin with? So again, what would it look like if you prioritized your well-being? So today I want to speak about next level health. Let's talk about high vibrational health. So in the context of spiritual and holistic wellness, let's say we're talking about well-being that's characterized by positive emotions, thoughts, and actions. Imagine all the feelings that's associated with it, such as joy, love, inspiration, gratitude, and with all these different practices that promote physical, mental, and spiritual well-being. So high vibrational health is often seen as a way of living in alignment with one's true self. So it's about fostering a sense of connection to something that's greater. And this is something I teach and preach in every single little thing of what I'm doing. Again, whether it's a one-to-one session, if it's an online course, like it's infused in my brand. So what about really, really embracing a more comprehensive approach to health? So we're thinking about everything is interconnected. The physical, the mental, the emotional, the social and spiritual aspects of our lives. Emphasizing that every single dimension, they are like that I just mentioned, they are not isolated, but it's more like they are influencing as they are interacting with each other. And in total, that's what impacts our well-being. It's all about the totality of what we're experiencing within our bodies. So as I see it, the goal of holistic well-being, I mean, how about striving for, when I say striving here, in a healthy way, to achieve a balance and, harmony, a harmonious state across all these dimensions, rather than just focusing on one area in isolation. I remember when I was younger, for me, health back then was basically about, doing sit-ups and eating broccoli. I'm not even kidding. That's basically how I thought about health as a younger girl. Maybe I'm exaggerating a little bit, but you kind of get the picture. It's very, very different when we connected with spirituality and something that has a way more holistic approach. So it's about nourishing. And nourishment, nourish all aspects of you. Now, this is femininity. So let me mention some of the things that goes way beyond food and exercise and sleep, So, of course, we need to have the basics in place. What do you fuel your body with? Do you allow yourself to get plenty enough of sleep and rest? How do you move your body? Is it both cardio and, strength exercise? Do you enjoy the exercise that you're doing? Your community, the friends, your surroundings. Oh my God, I cannot talk enough about the power of community and who we surround ourselves with. And even environments, we can talk about the air, the water quality. What's the energy of your home? How much fun and playtime are you prioritizing in your life? Are you feeling meaning and purpose with what you're doing? Or how do you feel when you wake up in bed? Do you just want to stay in bed? Do you lack motivation? What's the context of your life? Ooh, and this is a big one. Money. Are you experiencing money flow and financial relaxation? Or is money a constant stress? I'm mentioning this because wealth consciousness is a big topic for all my one-to-one women and my programs as well. And I'm speaking about money as something very spiritual and beautiful here that also gets to be something that nourishes us as a tool to help us to invest in whatever it is that we feel we might need in order to actually feel like we are thriving. Perhaps it's about making investment in ourselves, hiring a coach, hiring the personal trainer, hiring a personal assistant, whatever you need to feel that you're held and supported. So, as I say, moving your body, moving your soul. Here's an affirmation for you. I allow life to flow freely through me. My life is about ease. So what I just said as affirmations might not be something that someone typically think of. Okay, we're speaking about health here. Hello, what is you talking about? Here we are speaking about the mind-body connection. The mind-body connection is deeply integrated in every little single thing of what I'm doing, as in my own practice that I do with myself, all the exercises I give to my clients and so on. So it's about taking radical responsibility for your energy, for your well-being, for your health and wellness. And this is why I asked this question about your body in the beginning. What's your relationship with your body? Listen to what she's telling you. Far too often we get mad and frustrated at our bodies. We are frustrated because perhaps I'm not sleeping at the night, or, digestion isn't working, or we're experiencing pain, or far too often, physical appearance. You might be mad at your body for not looking the way you want it to. So can you imagine the impact it has when we start a conscious practice in loving, in appreciating our beautiful bodies? And this is coming from someone, and if you've been listening to the previous episodes and, well, you know me, parts of my story, my healing journey started with eating disorders as a teenager. And that's why I'm here to say today that transforming ourselves, living in radiance and being fully free, we cannot go there unless we're able to say that I love and approve of myself. I love and approve of my whole self. I accept who I am, and I love my gorgeous, beautiful, and incredible body. So even if you work with these affirmations, you might not feel that, they are true for you right now. That's okay. It will be true one day when you decide to make this important enough. So again, the mind-body connection. And as I see it, radical self-love starts right here. And when I speak about self-love, I'm not just speaking about, ooh, cute, I went and took a massage and now I've done my self-love kind of stuff. I mean, I'm all for massage and spa treatments, believe me. And I love those kind of things. But it goes way deeper than that. Healing means feeling. And that's where we need to go in order to experience personal transformation. And that's okay. Femininity is so much about embracing all aspects of ourselves. Those sides of us, we might feel that it's very easy to love, and also to hug and embrace and be kind towards those sides and patterns that, well, we're here to change them, So what does self-radical mean to you in the context of high vibrational health? As I would describe it, it's about deeply accepting and valuing ourselves with quote unquote flaws and all, and taking actions that support our well-being. It's about actively prioritizing our needs, setting boundaries, and cultivating a strong and unshakable sense of intrinsic self-worth. Meaning, knowing that you are worthy exactly as who you are. Yes, you might opt in for personal growth, but that's just because you want to get back to who you truly are and who you were before those, limiting programs got planted within your subconscious. So what are your health and wellness non-negotiables? Going back to what would it look like if you would prioritize your health and self-care, like part of your business, like part of your success, part of your career, part of your life, part of your deeper meaning of being here as a human. Whether it's, those of you who know me know that I'm a massive advocate for morning rituals. This will be an episode further on for sure. We will dive deep into that. And I'm speaking about magical morning routines here as an excellent, beautiful ritual and tool to make sure that you do not start the day with anything else than, with connecting within. That's where everything starts, to check in. Hey, how you are. And it's also a beautiful way to show yourself and the universe that you're committed. You're a committed woman that you're on a mission. And you want to feel fucking thriving as you're moving forward towards your vision. So what are your health and wellness non-negotiables? And whether it's about, I have my magical morning routine, or, I am dedicated to my meditation practice, whether if it's 5 or 10 minutes a day, or perhaps it's, I'm committed to doing my affirmations and mirror work standing naked in front of the mirror and, speaking my affirmations every day in the beginning of the day or something like that. Or, yeah, maybe it's something completely different. Just think about this. What are your health and wellness non-negotiables? So we're going back to vibration always. Energy, vibration. So for you who are not fully familiar yet with my work, I speak about personal growth. I speak about intentional identity creation, feminine manifestation, spirituality, and all those things, health, holistic health. So your energy is something that you have the power to switch in a second. And I want to do a disclaimer. This has nothing to do with, oh my God, I'm going for the high vibes and that's where I need to live 24/7. Of course, we can strive for that, but never, ever suppress any kind of emotions that needs to be felt. And I mean that, let's say you're going through something that's, sadness or grief or something that needs to be felt. Be there. It's an extremely big difference from allowing yourself to feel the feelings that need to be felt compared to unconsciously, subconsciously dwelling in low vibe emotions that doesn't serve you or anyone. So thoughts becomes things. Thoughts create your emotions, and emotions hold a certain frequency. Think about it. How do you feel in your body when you are in despair, frustration, or even desperation, compared to how you feel in your body when you're experiencing love, connection, gratitude? The difference is extremely, it's a very, very different way of being in this world. And we get to choose what kind of vibration we want to live in. How? By consciously choosing our thoughts. Thoughts becomes emotions. Emotions fuel our actions, the actions that we do or do not take. So this is, of course, completely in line with holistic health and high vibrational health. So you need to get crystal clear about what frequency you want to live in. And what are the daily habits that you need and want to prioritize? So do you make sure that you feel good, that you feel radiant, that you feel high vibe, whatever it is that you aspire to be? I know firsthand, for example, let's say when I'm traveling, the first thing I do is to make sure that I set up my environment. If I'm not in my home, I need access to a great gym that I love, where the energy is fantastic. I need to be able to take long walks and runs, preferably now when I'm in Bali, close to the beach, so I can just go for my beach walks. And I need access to a fantastic co-working space, so I have a standing desk, because I do not like to sit down when I work. Like, I could keep on going. I always go, and regardless, I buy fresh flowers. There's always fresh flowers in my home. And I always have happy, healthy, delicious, beautiful food in my fridge. So I always have access to foods I love, that my body loves, and so on. And community, friends, schedule. I could keep on going. But this is what I mean, how we actually actively get to decide. So one thing that could set us out of order, I was mentioning one thing, traveling. Okay, So what can I do with what I have? This is a thing where we get to say, I take what I have and I make what I want. Always. Same thing. Let's say, you're going to a restaurant and there is a buffet. Oh my God, there's just so much delicious food, and how easy it can be to just overeat. And instead of just going there because no one feels so good after overindulging, instead just make a commitment. Oh my God, this is just so delicious. I'm all about delight and pleasure. I know exactly how I want to feel in my body, and I'm going for the amount of delicious food and the types of food that I love and enjoy, that is also super nourishing for my body. And afterwards, you will feel content, satisfied, and so good in your body and being. So you see what I mean? We can make a conscious choice. And this is what I mean when I say that life is our classroom. I just gave you a buffet at a restaurant as a practice, So implement this to your life. Where can you consciously practice this? It's about stop doing what weighs you down, so that you can start prioritizing activities that makes you rise higher. So I don't know about you. I do this work very committed with clients because, of course, if we're not aware what weighs us down and we're not aware what makes us feel fantastic, it's different to know, what actions to take and what not to do. And most often, many of us, we do not get the results that we are, that we are capable of because we are too busy doing the things that's preventing us from reaping the benefits of all the good stuff that we're doing. So we want to end this dilemma. So my question is to you, what are the things that makes you feel heavy? And yes, of course, sometimes we need to do things that we might not, super love. That might be responsibilities of, being a human. Fair enough. But it's a very, very different thing compared to, by choice, staying in environments or, being with people that doesn't empower you or the opposite. So what are the activities that makes you feel oh so high? So high vibrational health, to expand on what I just said, is about release and letting go. Oh goodness, it's so much about surrender. It's so much about making spirituality your best friend. And when I say spirituality, it's about making your connection with how you're feeling the most important thing. Whether it's about, again, something you're experiencing on a daily basis or something that you consciously want to move towards. Just know, and this is my philosophy, and of course depends on where you're at, but to generalize, this ease, it's not natural. Ease is our natural state. And we can invest, of course, in healers and therapists and all sorts of agents to help us feel good and better. And that's a beautiful thing. We get to ask for help. We get to receive support. That's a very feminine thing to do. I also want to remind you of something crucial. Remember that you are the healer. You are light. That's your natural state. So if you're not experiencing ease, that means that something is off, and you get to explore what wants to be set back into divine order. So how about this? Trust your vibe. Follow your energy ruthlessly with a calm, beautiful, feminine presence. How about making your vibration your most important work of the day? Now, this is not how I would have talked a couple of years ago. I was not aware of this in this sense, even though I was, a wellness enthusiast and all of this. But today, this is one of the fundamental things that I teach in my programs. That's also one of the key things that my clients hire me for, because this is us, a new wave of empowered, feminine, spiritual leaders and entrepreneurs. And we are not up for, the old game of hustle and stress and feeling drained and burning ourselves out. I think it's fair to say that we've been there and done that. And instead, what about really, really being conscious about creating a new way to do life, to do business by starting with being? So who do we choose to be before we go and do anything? So again, imagine, for example, if one of your non-negotiables for your high vibrational health would be to start your morning in bliss. This is when we go beyond the concept of discipline, and in a very feminine way, we start to talk about blisscipline. So it's not about a sacrifice. It's a conscious and empowered choice. Hey, I choose as an empowered feminine woman to make my wellness, my holistic well-being, and my relationship with my body the most important thing. And that's where I will start my day, because I know that that will benefit not only me, but all those I love, my family members, and also those I'm here to serve. For example, I don't know about you, but I know that I show up as a much better coach. Even doing these episodes now, for example, I want to make sure that every single word that I shared comes from a place of feeling aligned. So trust your vibe and make it important. I always love to add reflection questions. As you probably know by now, this is how we wrap up our episodes very often. So take these questions with you. I've already been giving you a couple of questions, but you'll get a few more here. What does high vibrational health and holistic well-being mean to you? Now, this is a conversation that can go on forever, really, because it's very different. For one person, health might be like, I got to sleep 8 hours this night. I'm feeling so healthy. Thank you. Okay, fantastic. Like, it's all about your set point. And daring to set very high standards, not to pressure yourself in any way, but to just be honest. I know for myself, for example, vitality is one of my core values, and I have high standards for how I want to feel. And I know that this goes for my one-to-one ladies, probably for you too as well, who are listening to this show. You have high standards because you are a high-value woman. So, yeah, reflect on this. What does high vibrational health and holistic well-being mean to you? And two, how can you deepen, honor, and strengthen your connection with your body? Going back to the question that I gave you in the beginning of this episode. And 3, in what ways can you become better at taking care of your whole self? Because there are so many aspects of us as women that needs to be fueled, nourished. And I'm not just speaking here about holistic. I mean, even as, women, as achievers, and depending on where you're at, there are so many roles. Maybe you're an entrepreneur, maybe you're a mother as well. There are so many different aspects of our lives, and still there are so many levels of us that needs attention. So, for example, how much attention does fun and play and pleasure have in your life? If that's something that's not been giving that much focus lately, well, what can you do to just play more? That can be a very empowering exercise to actually level up your health and well-being. Or for someone else, it might be, I want to feel more meaning. I want to feel more purpose. Well, maybe that's about going for it. Starting your business or leveling up the business that you're here to run, So completely depending on who you are, where you're at this day to day, remembering that we're in this together. And I'll wrap up today's episode with reminding you, me, and reminding us as a collective that health is wealth. It might sound like a cliche, but cliches are cliches for a very big reason. I always feel that there is so much essence and truth that goes into them. So I encourage you to make yourself feeling not only good, but fabulous a priority, and watch not only yourself transform, but your relationships, your business results, your connections, all the things. Yes. Okay, that's it for today. Thank you so much for being here with me and for being with yourself. I'm excited to see and hear and learn more about how this episode lands with you. If you loved this podcast, please go ahead and subscribe. That way you get updates anytime I post a new episode. And if you're feeling extra generous, go ahead and share this with a sister needs to hear this message and leave a review. It would mean so much, as I love to envision a world with more feminine, embodied leaders. If you're looking to further grow, evolve, and expand your life and business, connect with me on Instagram and sign up for my Rise newsletter. Get ready to receive special announcements, inspiration, high vibe, self-empowerment, tips, hacks, and tools on how to become the woman you most want to be right into your inbox. Link in the show notes. Until next time, have a gorgeous week.